Good morning and welcome to another edition of our live program. Thank you for joining us today. I am your host once again, Promise Njoku Adibi, and it is always a pleasure to have you with us. Today promises to be another engaging and informative edition as we bring you the biggest stories making headlines across Nigeria and beyond. We shall begin with a review of today's newspaper headlines, highlighting, of course, the major issues shaping national discourse. After that, we move to our discussion segment where we shall take a closer look at some of the trending and disturbing developments in the country. Among them are the allegation by the chairman of Talata Mafara local government area in Zamfara state that the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has abandoned residents to the mercy of bandits amid worsening insecurity. Also, we shall look at the news about the federal government's decision to extend the NYC orientation camp from 3 to 6 weeks while scrapping military drills. And of course, the alleged reports that 104 Nigerian army personnel have been declared missing weeks after the deadly Boko Haram attack on a military base in Borno State. Of course, viewers as well as other important issues making the rounds. And helping us unpack these developments and their implications is our guest, Dr. Sir Obinanwachuku. Dr. Obinanwachuku is a respected analyst, a journalist, and the publisher of the Craft newspaper. It's good to have you come talk to us, Dr. Obina. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you, Promise. It's been a long time I came here. I'm happy and I appreciate the pleasure of being here.
Mm.
Let me just correct this. I'm the publisher editor in chief, Daily Newscraft newspapers.
Daily Newscraft. Thank you.
So I thank ACNN, and here is a home for me.
It's
So
good to
much
have you.
appreciated.
It's good to have you
Thanks.
always. Well, we are looking forward to a very insightful discussion with you this morning.
Thank you.
Viewers, later in the program, will bring you our message for the day and, of course, the weather forecast. And then we'll conclude with our Bible reading in Pidgin English to inspire and encourage us as we go about the day's activities. So I will encourage you to stay with us as we get started. And don't forget that you can be a part of this conversation by calling the number showing on your screen or by sending us your comments via any of our social media platforms also showing on your screen. So let's begin with a look at the major stories making the front pages of today's newspaper. Quickly, I'll look at the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper today has so much in store for us, and above the masthead there, NDIC now covers 98.9% banks deposits. This coming from the MD, and that story is on page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then on page 27, US disclosure on 199 killed jihadists refers to May operation. This is coming from the DHQ. And on page 8, terrorists invade Borno school, kidnap students writing NECO, kill teacher. And then we have, of course, a joyful one, soldiers rescue 10. That's really a good one. Coming from our Nigerian soldiers, we appreciate you. And of course, the picture story there, you see the rescued students in Borno State. And then beside the picture story there, we see fake reforms NYSC to be headed by civilian. And that story is on page 26 of the Vanguard newspaper. And on page 7, I love it when I see ladies doing exploits. Okundaye 16 becomes youngest chartered accountant in Nigeria. Congratulations to her. And then we have another story there. FG orders marketers to reduce fuel price. Marketers, please just obey this instruction. Don't argue. Reduce fuel price. And you find that story on page 5. And we have some kickers there. Dangote refinery determines price changes. This is coming from marketers. And then another kicker there says NLC blames government for fuel price standoff. The last one there says marketers slow to adjust prices. Marketers, please obey the last order. That's another from the federal government. Obey. Okay. And outside of Nigeria on xenophobia, over 15,000 Nigerians stranded in South Africa as federal government evacuates 271 today. And that story is on page 8. But then, underneath it, the federal government has come out to say it's not true. You want to read more on that? Please go to page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper and read more on that story. And we'll look at the Guardian newspaper next. The Guardian newspaper, still from above the masthead on page 3. 2 die in Borno forest, saving 10 abducted NECO candidates. May their souls rest in perfect peace, and we applaud their gallant nature. And I'm still on page 3. FG warns petrol marketers against profiteering, seeks reduction of prices. And on page 2, FEC overhauls NYC after 53 years, agency to be civilian led. And the big story there is on page 6 on post primaries. Role in APC as Atiku, obedience alleged sabotage of opposition. Of course, we have the pictures of the big wigs in the country. And beside the picture story there, NAFDAC seizes 42 million naira expired baby wipes illegally revalidated. And that story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And page 5, poor compliance, corruption fueling building collapse, experts warn. Well, I don't know why the body responsible for this can't be firm. We'll talk more on that. And on page 6, June 30th, which is today, foreigners stranded on edge as anti-immigration protests rock South Africa. And the last story I'll take on this is on page 15. Inflation, healthy meal costs Nigerians more as daily diet hits 1,589 naira. Some don't even have the 1,000 to eat. Okay, lastly, we look at the Punch newspaper quickly. On the registration crisis, NDC files appeal, moves to serve INEC. That story is on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. And on page 27, NDLEA arms operatives with AK-47s to battle drug cartels. That story is on page 27. And page 9, on Borno abduction, troops rescue NECO candidates, teachers. And the big story there is on the 2027 candidates. Fresh crisis hits parties as INEC portal opens. That story is on page 2. We have some kickers there. Wike, Turaki, PDP fractions disagree over INEC portal access. That's really funny. Okay. We see the picture story there of Dangote discussing his company's vision. And then beside it, we have Lagos tops Nigeria's HIV burden as infections hit 102,025. That story is on page 18. I was thinking by now we should be more careful as Nigerians. Well, on page 26, on blackouts, banks, firms sink 401 billion naira into alternative power in 3 months. That's quite sad. And the bottom strip there, page 5, motorists stab Latsman officer during enforcement. And lastly, I'll take is on page 24. FG approves 3.94 trillion naira for roads, vessels, others. Well, these are some major headlines, on our newspapers this morning. We want to encourage you viewers to feel free to get these papers for yourself and read and get yourself abreast with the happenings in the society. The best we can do is to read the newspaper headlines for you, and then we'll have a few minutes to discuss on them, and afterwards it's up to you to read. And if you want to call and join this conversation, please call in. The number to call in is showing on your screen, And if you can't call in, please send us your comments via any of our social media platforms showing on your screen. Now let me come to you, doctor. We've seen the headlines, of these newspapers. I want us to look at this uh, INEC portal opening that is, causing crisis in some parties. Why do we always have to have issues during elections in Nigeria? What do you see happening? Because we've seen article the obedience alleging sabotage, of oppositions. What do you see happening with regards to our democracy as a people?
Thank you once more. Um, what is happening in Nigeria today? What is happening in Nigeria today is not new. It happens every election cycle. And in Nigeria, the election cycle is every 4 years. We know that election is next year, but the campaign starts in few months from today. It's expected that all the players, both the umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the political parties will be able to come to terms to realize that it is Nigeria that matters.
Mm.
It's not their individual or idiosyncratic ambition. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, all the political parties, I can say, have no ideology. Because outside, yes, it may be in paper, but it's not been implemented. Because if they have, the reason people move from one political party to the other outside this country is based on ideology. Maybe you want a welfarist system, or you want another type of system, and then you look for a political party that holds that for you. And you start asking yourself, US, UK, and many other countries today have operated two-party system. In Nigeria, there was a time we had about 89 political parties. Today, we have about 20 political parties with almost 170 something that applied and couldn't get registered. That's not good for the economy. Just like one party state is also not good.
But I thought the more the merrier.
Well, the more the merrier. But you see, due to the heterogeneous nature of the country, everybody now wants to have a political party, maybe with the interest of his own, do I say tribe or even village in mind. Tell me, for example, why would I leave party A to party B today? In the next 3 months, I leave that party B to D. Then when D did not do anything well, I come back. Some years ago, I wrote a book. I still have that book, Internal Party Democracy in Nigeria. And the summary of that book is that there is no internal party democracy. If there is internal party democracy, for example, the leadership of the party, they own the party. They are the leaders. But today, once somebody moves from maybe APC to SDP as a governor, automatically they start calling him the leader of the party. And he now dictates what happens. The chairman of that party and those who have suffered for that party all this while are now relegated to the background. It shouldn't be. Again, the recruitment process. How do we recruit these people? Today, in one of the papers, we were told that APC has secretly submitted names of candidates to INEC and uploaded it in INEC portal. Why will it be done secretly? Because they know that there were some questionable actions that were taken during the primaries, and people were expecting those things to have been resolved. Because if it is transparent, if it is open, you don't need to do it secretly.
Yeah.
And as you're doing it secretly, you are causing disaffection within the party. Some people may stay, some will leave. Now, they are not leaving because of ideology. They are leaving because there is no internal party democracy. Internal party democracy means everything is transparently done, everybody sees it, believes in it, and there's no need for disagreement. But it's not being done. If I may ask you now, what's the difference between ADC and MPC and NDC? What is the difference between SDP and ADA or AA? There's no big difference. The difference, you may realize that some people in APC today, a few years ago, were in PDP.
Yes, yes.
Those in PDP today, a few years ago, were in SDP. Somebody will contest governor in this party today. Some people contesting for governorship positions or other parties today under APC. 4 years ago, were in PDP or other parties.
Sometimes they contest, when they win, they decamp.
You will believe we will sleep with somebody, eat with him this night. Tomorrow morning, he's in another political party. So there are problems, not just in INEC. Even the parties themselves are not getting it right. And I think INEC is feasting on those wranglings. And then when you also, like I mentioned, so the recruitment process, how do we recruit the INEC chairman? A situation where the president appoints who he likes, and then the Robert Stamp National Assembly endorses it. I'm sure if I want to make you, give you a position as maybe chairman of my club, I must have had a private audience with you, and I told you I want to come back. Oh, I hope you do A, B, C, D. You will agree. We may even take oath. We may even have some agreements. Then I'll come out to Puli and say, oh, Promise is now the chairman of our AZ club. And then I've also briefed other members that when I submit this name, endorse it. And it's giving what they call the National Assembly accelerated hearing, like what they did in the state police.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a time we pursued, I used to be a consultant in the National Assembly. There was a particular time when we were trying to get certain laws passed, including the Nigerian Stock Exchange demutualization. I know how many years it took. But this one, you see a bill submitted, it is given first reading, second reading, third reading, and passed that same day. A bill that has to involve and affect Nigerians. A bill that has to do with alteration of the constitution. A bill that has to, one way or the other, have effect on the operations of the country is passed within 2-3 hours. And nobody says anything. So a lot of things are going on in Nigeria. That's the issue. So, and all this has to do with politics. Everybody wants to, they say politics is winner, in Nigeria now is winner takes all. So it's because of the political system, everybody wants to strategize himself or herself to win next year's election. So I'm not surprised about what is going on, but it is not good for our democracy. And I don't think our forefathers, if they are alive today, I'm sure they will be weeping in their grave about what is going on.
Because you ask, is it actually the Nigeria they fought for?
Yes, of course.
It's not. Nigeria they shed their blood for.
And when you check, most of the aspirants or candidates to the what manifesto do they have? Like I said, they have almost the same manifesto. I will do road, I will do water, I will do this.
Yeah, it's actually it's very embarrassing in 2026 campaigning with electricity, with something that ordinarily it is the right of Nigeria.
It's the right of Nigeria. You do flyover and then somebody come to commission it. You do some people do borehole in their house. In their house, it's not commissioned. But once a government official does borehole
with taxpayers' money,
then somebody comes to commission it. And we talk about commissioning. We will not talk about the cost of organizing that commissioning ceremony. Nobody talks about it.
Runs in millions.
Yeah. Yesterday, we attended one commissioning ceremony here in Abuja. And I was asking some of my colleagues, I said, it's only in Nigeria here a president or a governor comes to commission. I've never had Trump or the British Prime Minister that he went to commission one road or he went to commission water project. So why? You do it and people start enjoying it.
Because that's actually why you're there.
Yeah, but here commission has become a fun fair. Ceremonies, millions of naira spent on publicity. Even the person that comes to commission, you will still go back and tell him thank you, sir, for coming. And all these things are taxpayers' money. So a lot of things are going, I don't know what to say, but are not properly being done in this country. So, and they are all geared towards all those commissioners. Oh, maybe people should see I am doing something. So vote for me or vote for my principal. As if people don't know. If I'm coming to this road, this St. Matthias house, and the road have been bad, and I now come to that and I notice that the road is good, you don't need commissioning for me to know.
Yes.
I will go home and tell my people, say, that road, they have done that road. And that is all you need. But you will want to showcase this so that when you come back tomorrow, you let me know, Obina, I'm the one that did that road.
So vote for me and my
vote for me. Check the other paper that was on the air. So it's an unfortunate
Well,
situation.
that's the hypocrisy
It's an
governing
unfortunate situation.
our government today. Well, viewers, feel free to call in and join this conversation. Make your contributions. The number to call in is showing on your screen. And if you can't call, please send us your comments via any of our social media platforms, also showing on your screen. Well, those are the headlines making the rounds this morning. We shall, go to our discussion segment much later, where we examine the issues behind the headlines and what they mean for Nigerians. Please stay with us. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back, viewers. Well done. You are still watching today on ACNN, and we have with us Dr. Sir Obinna Nwachukwu. In fact, just a few minutes we've spent, you can see the wealth of knowledge he has, dished out for free. Well, viewers, we will be looking at, I'm sure, where are the young ones? This concerns you. I'm sure you should have one or two things to say with regards to this. Federal government approves NYC reform agency to be civilian-led, skill-oriented. Before we talk about that, let's take a look at this video. When we come back, we'll talk.
Spoke to the Federal Executive Council, and I'm happy to tell you that it has been approved for the reform of National Youth Service Corps. For over half decade, 1973, that this scheme has been funded, created by the country for national unity and after the Civil War. 53 years later, part of the reform of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the reforms have led to a lot of ways which have incorporated the Ministry of Youth and even the youth itself to put together an half of a century review of the challenges the NYCs are facing. And these have addressed the issues of Ministry of Youth Development, Ministry of Education, and also the Office of the Special Advisor to the President to work together for the development of the reform framework. The goals are simple and straightforward. We want to build an NYC out of just mobilization of program. We are looking and working for the strong partnership for skill development, job creations, possibility, and national growth. The key reforms are stated clearly to put a call of data in digital way and a self-development core members for security and also attentions in special issues. These are prepared to even the structures of the reform of NYSC. This memo continues by putting up and also preparing a better state of camps in all states of the Federation, making the state government, the subnational, a clear standard orientation camp for all young people. And also the passing out parade should be redesigned from just a parade to a ceremony, a graduation ceremony properly. And also it's been approved that professionalism of each core member's identity of a scheme to be introduced. And we have also worked in line to reform the act that strongs the NYSC in collaboration with these three ministries and all MDAs. We're happy to inform you that finally NYSC reform has come to stand. Thank you.
As the Honourable Minister of Youth had said, this is a reform that is far-reaching to the extent that it covers the totality of the scope and structure of the Nigerian Youth Service Corps. One of the important things that we saw on which basis we decided to embark on this reform process is that there's a need for us to intervene to build the present ambition of a $1 trillion economy by repositioning NYSC as a civilian-led, skill-oriented, productivity-driven, and youth-empowering national institution. We need to strengthen the human capital development to enhance the workforce that is needed for us to promote and align with our national development. Indeed, as you mentioned, the NYSC has been in existence for 53 years, and this is the first time there has been a holistic reform. The reform areas speak to all the strategic aspects of the NYSC, starting from the area of the main area of deployment. How are you registering in the NYC? What modality is being used to post you to several states? How are we recognizing the areas where we have security challenges? What constitutes the period with which youth corps are in camp? We've looked to see what we need to do to recognize people's skill set, to recognize what it is that Nigeria needs from the Nigerian youth after graduating. We've segmented the NYSC across 11 different core streams. We have looked to see what are the areas that exist for Nigerian youth that Nigerian youth are interested in. So we looked to see how many streams can be done. By stream, I mean the type of additional training we can provide you as a graduate in having graduated from the university. So within the orientation camp, there's a new structure where you have the first 2 weeks, which speaks to laying a foundation on civic responsibility. You'll be made aware of what it is that civic duties means, our national values, leadership development. The next 2 weeks, we look to career mapping, basic accounting literacy, skills, business planning, access to finance. How do we access finance? And then we intend to introduce a structured career day program to enable COP members engage directly with the public. But importantly, the final 2 weeks, which is a minimal period, we intend to have a focused COP stream specific training. This aligns with the COP member's designated stream based on his choice, based on his academic background and skill profile. We've designated 11 core streams across NYC. So when you come in as a youth corper, you would now pick which stream you want to participate in. So I'll list out the streams and then we can see how we would interact on that. We have the agri core, we have the medical core, we have the education core, we have the tech and digital core, we have the legal core, we have the public service core, we have the infrastructure core, we have the green core, we have the enterprise core, we have the creative economy core, we also have the paramilitary and security core. So each COP member, once he has uploaded and he has been recognized and accepted as a COP member, he's required to pick one of those core. And once he registers in that, then we recognize him as a medical core, and certain trainings will be given for each of those cores within the 2 weeks. What is important is Mr. President, in his usual bold and courageous way, has taken on this holistic reform of the NYSC, which has never been done in the last 53 years of its establishment. NYSC will be civilian-led with clarity of the fact that we need to build the skill set of our youth to enable them function and support the government in building a $1 trillion economy. Thank you very much.
Well, I watching all of that, I was smiling all through. A lot of things were coming, are passing through my mind. But let me come to you, Dr. Obina. You watched that video with me. I want to ask, do you think this is actually addressing the real challenges facing the NYC scheme? All of this overhauling after 53 years, do you think it's actually addressing the challenges?
Thank you very much. Like rightly said, the NYC scheme was introduced by former military ruler Yakubu Gowon in 1973. And if we remember, that was a few years after the end of the Civil War. And one of the resolutions or the peace-building efforts of that war was rehabilitation, reconciliation, and all that. So the NYC scheme was born out of the need to reintegrate Nigeria after years of the Civil War, because the Civil War disintegrated disoriented and dissipated uh, people, human beings, energy, and all that. So the idea was, how do we come back as one Nigeria? And we remember even the national anthem in those days, we were talking about one Nigeria, one united, cohesive, and a peace-loving country. So the idea was, as a graduate, you'll be posted outside your comfort zone, outside your tribe and locality, to go and learn the culture, tradition, and lifestyle of other parts of Nigeria with the aim that you will not see others as yourself, then love what they love, appreciate what they do, then deepen the unity and oneness of the country. And that's why people are posted from one part of the country to the other. That has been the case until recently when insurgency, terrorism, banditry, whatever you call it, came in. And youth corps members became targets of those ferocious human beings, those blood-sucking mammons. I think that has led to rethinking on the part of government on how do we solve this situation. I remember when some of us served in those days, once you're posted, you're posted. There was no internet, there was no phone, there was no issue of maybe saying, I don't want to go here, apply for change. In those days, except maybe the case where a woman was married and maybe pregnant. In fact, if the woman was even pregnant, she would not be mobilized and all that. But today, people now determine where they want to go. Even after orientation, you see a lot of people leaving. And then the result is that a lot of corps members hardly get a place of primary assignment. I know some cases that some people that serve in their parents' shop or stay at home and just have one company that will be giving you clearance every month to collect your stipend. So I think in view of the current situation, the federal government came up with this policy. Looking at it, I think the policy is good if they will walk the talk. Because they say talk is cheap. It's not issue of watching television, the young youthful minister, and then Hadiza Bala Usman, the SA on policy, telling us what they will do. We have had such promises in the past in several other sectors. At the end of the day, nothing came out of them. What they want to, I have listened to her. I also read it in the papers. It's a good policy, but I'm not so comfortable with it. One, I don't subscribe to the idea of having a civilian to head that NYC. Anybody that has passed through the NYC will know that it's better with the military. And with the civilian, and then I also heard that they say no more parade.
Yeah,
The
it's
beauty of NYC is that parade.
Exactly.
When you come and they say Compassion, Ajowaya, you know all those slangs. That shows you were there.
Oh, and the uniform too will be changed.
And the uniform, fine. It will be changed. So I don't know what we're going to wear now. Whether we're going to wear vigilante uniform or whether they'll be wearing, I don't know. So that aspect, I don't think is proper. They should restore the military head there. They should restore the parade. But then the government also somehow is indicting itself by saying it's going to be skill-led. The implication of what the federal government is telling us is that the university system in Nigeria, the tertiary education system in Nigeria, if I may say it, is useless. Because what is the idea of, for example, Polytechnic? Polytechnic is supposed to be where you are to be trained and you come out in those days where they call technical skills. And that's why somebody will say, I want to go to a technical college or I want to go to a polytechnic. When you come out, the idea is that you're going to be self-reliant. That's why when you go there, people learn carpentry, block making, and a lot of other things. But today, a lot of people that went to that polytechnics, I'm sorry to say it, cannot even do anything. The same thing with our universities. You see a situation where somebody, for example, learn mechanical engineering, graduated, some with first class, some with second class upper. But then when your car has a problem, you take it to a roadside mechanic. And you'll be asking the mechanic to diagnose and tell you what is wrong with your vehicle. So a graduate of mechanical engineering and a roadside mechanic who should, under normal circumstances, educate each other. Because our education system has gone down to zero. People today, what now arrests is paper. People have papers, but you cannot defend the paper. There are many of them. So the government itself, I feel that what the government should have done is to reform the education system in Nigeria.
Agreed.
Many of the so-called universities today are glorified primary schools. They are glorified primary schools. Take a visit to some of them. For example,
I rather you don't call names.
I'm not calling names. Okay. But what I'm saying is that you go to a school, a tertiary institution, maybe computer department, maybe see 200 people or 300 people, and then maybe they have 15 or 20 systems. How do they use it? Is it not funny that somebody may read computer science and come out and cannot be able to operate the system? We are doing UTME. A lot of students in many of the secondary schools in this country have never in their life seen a computer system. I had a case like that, a child I picked. When she came to Abuja and was to take UTME, she said she had never seen computer. We had to force, it's okay, go and do 6 months computer training. Because without that, you cannot take UTME. A situation where people are studying under trees, people are studying under falling roofs, people are writing with their papers on their laps. So how do you talk about UTME? You start from there to the university system. Then you come to the issue of sorting. Some don't even enter school, but they get good grades.
Oh, yes.
Now, conduct an interview, they will not do it. On the other side, you also have those who graduated, but there's no job. For example, Dangote Petroleum, I think last year they're about advertised for drivers. And it was in the news that PhD holders were applying to be drivers. In 1993 specifically, Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited advertised for graduate drivers. It was stated they want drivers for their Coca-Cola truck, but they want graduates. That is so as low as Nigeria has gotten to. So I think there's a problem. A student that went to the university and could not understand what he or she was being taught. Is it in NYC that the person will do better?
Exactly. NYC that is just 1 year.
It's only 1 year. I like the idea of moving the orientation from 3 weeks to 6 weeks. During our time, it was 1 month. And we were well taken care of. But it's not an issue of 6 weeks. Like I said, I buy the idea, but they need to have a second look. They need to change the idea of saying it will be a civilian head. We have a lot of institutions, federal government institutions that are our paramilitary organizations headed by civilians. And we know how they are today. At least that fear that, the head is a military man, it puts that fear in you. One other thing I may also suggest is that I'm happy they made mention of one of the schemes, one of the streams to be a paramilitary. I once visited Israel, and one thing I learned there is that they have the Israeli Reserve Force. There, I was told that at a particular age, I think 17 years or thereabout and 20, every young boy and every young girl is compulsorily enrolled into their military system. You do it for 2 years. When you come out and you want to join the military, you join them. If you don't want to join, you can also pursue your career, but you are on the reserve and can be called upon at any time to join the army to defend the country. Some other countries also do such things. With the level of insecurity in the country, I don't see anything wrong in getting the youth to also know, because if your enemy knows that you know what he knows, he will think twice before attacking you. So the NYC in summary is good. What they want to do is good, but I think they need to have a second look And I would have expected the federal government to have subjected this reform to public discourse.
Agreed. Agreed.
I would have expected them, like they do in National Assembly, public debate. They could have taken it to zone by zone, even though at the end of the day they may see write what they write, because we have attended some seminars, some programs. Before you even finish, they say communique. I start wondering where was the resolution taken, because they already came with the prepared communique. But at least give us that opportunity to ventilate, give that Nigerians opportunity to ventilate their ideas, because this is something that affects every home. Every home wants to have a graduate, so that person will one way or the other be involved in this. And looking at the streams, the 11 streams to me are not enough. For example, I'm a journalist. I didn't see the one on journalism there. So if I read mass comm, the university, or I read journalism, some universities are teaching journalism now, and then I come out where I don't know where to fit in here, because they say agric, medicine, education, tech, legal, infrastructure, and all that. I didn't see journalism. So if they want to do it, then they should list all the professions in this world, and which means it will not be easy. So there are certain people you cannot pigeonhole into certain career. That's the okay. You put medicine. Somebody that did medical lab, where will that person go? Somebody that did maybe carpentry in the university, where will the person enter? It's infrastructure. So you don't start something you cannot finish. They should subject it to public discourse. I see this as FEC has approved it. It's not yet a law. I know they're going to submit the NYC Act to National Assembly for amendment. I will urge the National Assembly to subject it to public discourse. Not the kind of thing they do in National Assembly, where they will invite people in maybe a 50 capacity hall. At the end of the day, they will tell us they have made the law. Let it be on zonal basis. Let every zone or every state make contributions, so that whatever at the end of the day will be accepted as a newly reformed NYC will be something that has majority of the input of majority of Nigerians. That's what I will say on that.
Thank you very much. I love what you talked about, making it a public discourse. That's one. I actually had that in mind to point out. And then secondly, you said it's a good thing, extending from 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But where I have a challenge is that 3 weeks. We've seen coppers come out to complain about poor welfare, insecurity, and all of that. Extending it to 6 weeks, do you see the federal government, being ready to protect and provide for these core members? Do you see that happening? If they can't do that in 3 weeks in some areas, what do you think will happen in 6 weeks? That's where I have a problem with. And
Right.
the insecurity in the country, some have actually, there was a time we had that conversation here, some actually called out that NYC should be scrapped, because most times, like you pointed out, some people don't go to serve. They are some of the so-called big men's children. They just drive in, do whatever they do, and they move out. Of course, they have where to get their clearance from, and all of that. So it's not like they're serving their fatherland. Now, for those who do not have, godfathers, they end up after serving, come out. There's no job, like you rightly pointed out. So, do you really think NYSC is even fulfilling its purpose, or should it even be scrapped? And they're looking at insecurity, keeping how many 1,000 people, or even more than 10,000 in a place, in a camp. I think without proper security, is that not a green light for these bandits to come in, these kidnappers to come in and cause mayhem?
Well, it's a good observation, but I don't think there's any camp that inhabits up to 10,000 corps members. I don't think so.
And I hope
And,
you know that we have a whole lot of graduates who are yet to serve.
Fine. The graduates who are yet to serve is not the fault of the NYC. It's the fault of the university. The same thing is also happening to law. People going for law school. It's the same thing. Every university has what they call carrying capacity. Every university, for NYC, they have it. For law, Nigerian Council of Legal Education tells you the number of students you have to admit. But some will go and admit SS. For example, maybe quota is 50 law students. You go and admit 200 because they are all looking for money. Now, during the time of mobilizing them for NYC, you can't mobilize more than 50. In fact, the law, Nigerian universities offering law is even a more pathetic case, because the requirement is that you send the best 50. So if you have 70 people graduating in a particular year, and from you start from those that have first class to second class upper to second class lower. So once you get 50, the 20 will wait. Then next year, another set of 70 or 100 will graduate. You also add them together and start taking. So somebody that had maybe third class or second class lower, and there are more people with first class. I know someone that spent 5 years before going to law school, because the law school will only take, if it's for example 50, I think most of them are 50, not more than 50. So if you are not among the first 50 this year, and next year a new set is added, and you're also not among them, you will continue waiting.
But do you realize that that is actually wrong? Because
Wrong on whose part?
some students are actually victims of, some lecturers.
No, that's a story for another day.
I'm trying to point that out. So you find out that student keeps waiting, like you pointed out, waiting, and then 4 5 years, that students have not moved on, except for the wiser ones who just go and start up a business and all of that. But then I'm actually looking at the fact that we can overhaul our education system if they don't want the NYC to stand. Because this idea of, like you pointed out, you see that passing out parade, there's a kind of pride. As I'm talking to you, I remembered when I passed out.
Now it's called graduation.
It's called graduation. What are they graduating from? What happens to the graduation in the university?
What graduation is all about?
It doesn't make sense, because I remember 2012, I was the only female bass drummer. I was carrying my bass drum, and with every pride, playing, and then you want to reduce it to graduation. For me, it's taking away the beauty of NYC. It's taking away. So I think I don't think it's the NYC that needs overhauling. I think it's our education system.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I said what they are doing in NYC is government admitting failure as far as the education system is concerned.
True.
Because there's one thing that's compulsory. I'm a lecturer. And in our business administration department and in most universities, entrepreneurship is compulsory. Entrepreneurship is compulsory.
Yeah.
So if every institution is able to enforce that course, because most of the things they're talking about this NYC boils down to that same entrepreneurship. They can teach you. I have a book I wrote on small scale business management, which tells you about 100 different business ventures you can do with less than 100,000 naira. And going to NYC anyway, I will always proudly talk about NYC because I'm a NYC Merit Award winner. You may not know.
That's nice. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm a NYC National Merit Award winner. During our set in 1990, we were 5 in Okwara that won the award then. That's when they used to give us 100 naira as Alawi. So I won the award, and we are 5 of us. And what made me to win that award was because of added value I put to the service. So as at that time, like I said, orientation is 1 month. And every day they kill one cow. They kill one cow in the camp.
During your time?
Yes. They feed you well. So even the 100 naira they were giving was nothing. They kill one cow every day. They feed you well. In fact, you cannot come out. In fact, some people then feel reluctant leaving the camp. You see some people who want to be enrolled. Because when you come out, there's no way you come out from the camp. You will not look robust, well fed. Where you start suffering is when you now start serving. Even the NYS official will tell you, okay, see how you are looking. Now that you are going to be relying on 100 naira alawi. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Let's see how you will survive.
Oh, that's why some say now you're suffering continues.
Fine. Yeah. So because you are fed well, you are taken care of well, your meals are balanced. But it's no longer the case.
It's not the same.
In fact, these days now, information I have is that even the allowances, just like in the prisons, the allocations and all that, doesn't get to the coppers. You not see a cop member now sewing his clothes. Some of them
Oh,
are
a
sold their
lot buy.
uniforms,
Yeah, a lot
buying their
buy.
canvas. It wasn't.
During my time, I know I
It
received for
wasn't.
free. Yeah.
You get everything free, and you are proud to come back to your parents and say, "I'm serving." And then there was no issue of insecurity. I
Yeah.
remember in those days moving from my place in Imo, I was posted the old Kwara. Then uh, present Kogi and Niger were part of Kwara State. I left in the morning, got to Onisha, stayed in my uncle's house, and by 5 a.m. we left on station wagon. That was what was being used then from Onisha through Auchi to Okene to Ilore. We got to Ilore 11 p.m. in the night. Then from there, I moved to Ibata camp. We got to Ibata camp around 1 a.m. There was no phone. There was no nothing. You write letter to your parents. It takes up to 1 month. But your parents are confident that you
Because the
reached.
country was safe then.
Yes, they are confident that you reached. And you may not see your parents again until after orientation, where you're given a week or two. Then you now resume. And when you resume, unless your employer allows you, you may stay there for 1 year. But your parents are happy, they are assured of your safety. But it's not the case now.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of things have changed.
The insecurity in the country is quite
A lot
alarming.
of things have changed.
There's
So
this,
that's the problem.
there's this pride that goes with going for NYSC,
Yeah.
wearing that uniform,
Yes.
when you wear your crested vest, and
Even
all
your
of
parents
that. They will
will
be so
gladly tell people that
proud.
my son, my daughter is going for you service.
They'll be so proud. You
It's
see
no longer
parents
it now.
enlarging pictures of their
Yeah.
children, putting it there. It's the same pride that goes with putting on the boys' brigade or the girls' brigade uniform. There's just this. You feel you're out of this
Yeah.
world. I'm appealing to the federal government. Please, let's not kill this scheme. Please. Passing out parade is way better than graduation. Please, let's not kill this scheme. And yes, we feel we are of the opinion this should be in the public discourse, because I don't think anybody will want to change that uniform for anything. And then I think I also agree with Dr. Wachuku here that please let it still be military led,
Let it
because
be
with this
military led,
civilian, I don't understand how many civil what I don't know what you people have in mind, but please bring it to the public. Let's make our decisions. Let's give our contributions. But I think it should be military led. Now I know our time is fast spent talking about.
I promise. Let me just add this. You see, if we remove discipline, which is instilled by the military in the NYSC, it will be like any other federal government agency. Now you are going to subject it to civilian head. Then everybody will start scrambling to be appointed.
Do anything they want.
And then when you touch that person, he will go to his traditional ruler or call his senator or somebody and they will intervene. It's going to end up being like other. We have the man o' war.
Mm-hmm.
We have this National Orientation Agency there. Is it KAI? Kick Against Indiscipline and all those. Where are they today? Once you remove that discipline, which is part and parcel of the military from NYSC, I bet you, even right now, a lot of people are finding their ways, cutting corners. Not to talk of when,
when you now remove it totally, that would be a
and then
big
that
time
parade
disaster.
that you are removing, I remember that Bigo when that it blew by 4 a.m. Nobody will tell you to wake up. So I think they are really watering it down, and it's not good for us.
It's not good at
They
all.
should rather
It's not
force
good.
tackle the education, the rot in the education sector.
And
ASO
then,
is even
yeah,
threatening and all that.
another
Let them
strike, yeah.
settle that area. If you come out, you should be bold enough you should be bold enough to say I'm a graduate, and you defend what you read.
Agreed.
That's the simple truth.
Agreed.
NYC 1 year is not enough.
It's not enough. It shows that the 4, 5 years,
It's not
6
enough.
years
Yes.
people spent in the university was actually a waste.
It's not
If
enough.
we're depending on whatever it is you get from NYC,
Yeah.
it's what will push you to
It's
the
not enough.
outer world. It's really not enough. And then, talking about insecurity, there's this very troubling story from a bandit leader identified as Kachala Maha. He has claimed, let me just read it. He said, "You arrested my men and I asked for their release. You refused. I promised that I would abduct many people and I already have targets. I asked why my men and Aminu were arrested since they were not released. I don't care if you sent thousands of soldiers. I am not tired and I will not stop until I leave this world. I can kidnap top government officials, even a state governor." I swear to Almighty God that all the security forces sent to attack my camp are my boys. I'll take that again. I swear to Almighty God that all the security forces sent to attack my camp are my boys. They inform me whenever they are coming. I receive information about security strategies, including those involving the president. It is only because I allow them to operate. Otherwise, they would not even be able to use the roads. This is coming from the bandit leader who has claimed he has the capacity to abduct high-ranking government officials, including state governors. Dr. Wachuku, is this not troubling? Is this not scary?
It's not scary.
But I want to look at two things. He said, first, he has the capacity to kidnap anybody, including top government officials and state governors. Secondly, the people sent to arrest him are his boys. Thirdly, he gets information about strategies, including that of the president. These are very heavy words to say. Do you think Nigerians should take this man serious?
Promise, thank you. I think that except the first one he said that he has the capacity to kidnap a governor or a president. I will not challenge him on that because I don't know his capacity. But like I said earlier, talk is cheap. And you know that propaganda is part of warfare. Nigeria, currently, we can say we are in a warfare with the bandits. Everybody is trying to, prove that he's capable of doing this or doing that. And that's why today, maybe if you check the papers, they will say bandits kidnap such a number of people. Then the next day, the military will come out and say, we have arrested such a number of people. And the question people are asking is that these bandits, are they in millions? We also had sometimes government say we have decimated. If you are decimated, why are they still coming out? So I won't challenge him on what he says because
You don't know his
if
capacity.
somebody will tell you, look, if you do this, I will kill you. You don't know the kind of killing he's talking about. So I don't know what he has. I'm not privy to it, and I can neither defend him nor support what he's saying. But on the other two, you mentioned the issue of the people that were sent are his boys, and the fact that he has information. They are already in public domain. Even the former president of this country and some government officials have, at one time or the other, alluded to the fact that these bandits are getting information, and that even the military have been infiltrated. It's a clear case. And a lot of people, it's been in the news that the military have been infiltrated. But the issue is that you won't know who is who. And the way Nigeria is going about this terrorism thing leaves more to be admired. Somebody will declare himself a terrorist or bandit or whatever you call it. He will kill people, maim them, destroy properties. At the end of the day, you say the person has repented. I've never had such wars in America, in Iraq, and all that. The person has been repented. Then the next day, you say you have rehabilitated him, and then you have reintegrated him into the society.
Some of them are being enrolled into our military.
Fine. Some of those ones that have even been rehabilitated
Oh my God.
are now enrolled into the military, into the police, and all that. There was a video that was trending last week or so. I don't know whether you watch it. Two policemen that came out from their vehicle, and there was this retinue of bandits in motorbikes, numbering over 100.
Yeah.
And the police were waving at
Killing
them.
them, yes.
They were hailing at them.
Well, the Nigerian police have come
And
out
then
to
they
say
said that they were vigilantes.
Yeah.
Vigilantes from where? With vigilantes in the daytime? Vigilantes will know.
Dressed like bandits?
Yes, dressed like bandits, welding AK-47 guns. And we know that vigilantes, we use those days, we used to call them watch night. They operate in the night. But then, the police, why didn't they also make statement about what happened in Katsina last year at a wedding ceremony? Where these bandits came to the wedding
Oh,
and
yeah.
police were there.
Fully armed.
Fully armed. Participated and left. So, you see, that's why I said there are much that meets the eye. We know. But I will also be happy, though, on satirical note, if maybe some of these big people will be touched. Because
They
so
might
far,
take security seriously.
yes, I think that's where they may take it serious. You can imagine where they say, oh, a governor is kidnapped. Okay, see what happened in Oyo recently. Teachers and school children were kidnapped.
Till now.
Up to now, they are still there.
Till this.
But relatives of a former minister of power, were kidnapped. In less than 1 week or so, they were rescued. And people start asking this question: is it rescue or is it escape? Like the one that's in the one in the paper today, where military says the NECO students. Somebody posted this morning and saying, did they escape or were they rescued? Because there was also the one that happened in Kubwa. One guy came to last week, a family came last week to speak out that they paid such amount of money for their relation that was kidnapped. Now, when they released the guy, they dropped him somewhere. While he was trying to find his way home, police saw him and said, okay, enter the vehicle. Instead of taking him home, police took him to the police station and asked him to make entries. And then police now came out and said they rescued him. And the guy has come out, he addressed the media last week and said police did not rescue him, that his family paid. And that in fact the people they borrowed the money for his rescue are calling for their money because it was given as a loan. And for the fact that police said they rescued him, those people are now saying, okay, oh,
give us
our
money back. Oh,
give
yeah.
us our money back. The matter is still there. Police has not said anything. Because you see, it baffles me when you say rescue. If you rescue somebody and nobody was harmed, no bandit was killed, I mean, it calls for questioning. But when you say, oh, they escaped and we saw them and picked them up, I think that's a more acceptable information. Because all the cases you have been hearing, rescue. If I am holding somebody hostage, for you to rescue that person, two things will happen. Either you pay me,
or you kill me. Yeah. And we've not seen bodies.
We have not seen bodies. Nobody was killed. Even there was one that happened, was it in KB or somewhere, about 100 and something, Kaduna 100 and something, you see them coming out, and you say you rescued them.
And nobody was killed.
100 and something rescued. Some of us did English language, and we know the meaning of rescue.
It's actually very, very disheartening when we hear our government, hear our force personnel talk about all of these. They make us feel like, okay, going to school was a waste. Yeah. Because it looks as if we don't know what it's just like what you said now. We know what the word rescue means, but then they just use it like a punchline, and it's actually not nice. It's not nice. I think we can do better, because it's just like this thing you pointed out. A terrorist who has killed, who has raped, who has maimed people, it's now declaring himself as being repentant, and then he's being reintegrated. Just in Kaduna, when was that? Was it last week? A repentant bandits killed farmers, abducted some. 6 bodies have been recovered so far. That is someone who said he repented. And he's been reintegrated back into the society where he caused pain. And he has now unleashed a second one. I don't know when our federal government will begin to take the lives of Nigerians seriously. You know, and it's good for us to keep talking about this thing, because the more we keep quiet about it, the more they feel we don't matter. I love what the chairman of Talata Mafawa local government area in Zamfara said. He has accused the Minister of Defense, but then it's not even about the accusation, it's the boldness to come out and talk. Viewers, let's take a look at this video. When we come back, we'll talk more on it.
Wannan zai fito fili ne in magana. ba ɓoyayya ba. Mai girma ministan tsaro ƙarami wanda kai ne wakilin jihar Zamfara, ba mu da wani minista a cikin majalisar zartarwa ta ƙasa sai kai, ba mu da wani wakili sai kai, ba mu da wani mutum da a ce mu a federal government sai kai. Yau a yankin ka ne, constituency ka senatorial ɗinka, makwabciyar ƙaramin hukumar ka, wannan abin ya faru. Da girma minista, ka kalli wa'annan talakawa da idanun rahama. Na ga wani bidiyo naka kwanan baya cewa an samu sauƙin tsaro. Ban iya cewa uffan ba. To amma dai ni yanzu abin da ijiya ta gana man yanzu haka wanda ga ina a makabartar wannan ƙauye na Tunga Kore, ba zan faɗa ma Allah an samu. Kuma kai in ka tsaya akan wannan abun ka zalunci kanka ka zalunci al'ummarka kuma wallahi sai ka sauka tambaya gaban ubangiji. Wata uku da suka wuce ko biyu ka gaya mana cewa ka yi alƙawarin za a kawo mana sojoji dubu domin su kare waɗanda mutane. Da girma minista, ya excellency da girmamawa wannan mutane za ka asa wani tambaya gaban ubangiji.
Well, that's really not a beautiful sight. That's not a beautiful sight at all. And just a summary of what he said in Hausa language. He has actually told the minister Matawale that if he continues to keep quiet and be silent about the killings, that he will be judged. God will judge him. Of course, we know God is going to bring every one of us to that judgment seat. But I don't know, when will the killings stop? These people who take lives, how many have you been able to create? You kill people as if they are not. Oh my goodness, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. We see men crying. We're told men don't cry, but then we see men crying. Whether he was crying for the media, whether he was truly pained, it doesn't matter. Those are human beings, lifeless. He was actually at the burial ground that they're trying to bury these people. That's why he was making it, and he said he can't keep quiet anymore. The minister had promised to send soldiers to, guide them and all of that, but nothing has been done. He said the minister made that promise about 2 months ago, and nothing has been done till now until these people are killed. They are about to be buried. Dr. Bina, let me get your thought on
My sister promised, like I said, what is happening in our security sector, I can say the more you look, the less you see. A lot of narratives are out there. Both those real, those fake, those fabricated, those that could be seen as propaganda and all that. Every day, something new happens. But the case of Bello Matawale is one that is not very cheerful.
Oh.
I remember when he was made the Minister of State, a lot of Nigerians, including my own publication, we did editorial saying that he doesn't deserve to be a minister. And when somebody who was previously under him as a Minister of Defense eventually was made his boss as substantive minister, we also said that given the fact that he once supervised the current Minister of Defense, that he may not give him 100% support, and that the best thing is for him to go. But you see, in Nigeria, Nigeria is one funny place. Nigeria is where somebody want to click to power all his life. And
Whether he's qualified to be
yes,
there
and
or
that's
not.
why you see somebody will serve a local government chairman, chief of staff to governor, and member speaker house 8 years, governor 8 years, minister, vice president, and all that. Where opportunity comes, he will not say no. I've done enough. Let others go. For example, the man was a governor. Then they appointed him a minister. A lot of people, even international community, were against his appointment, going by his antecedents. When he was governor, he was accused of hobnobbing with bandits, including the dreaded Bello Toffee.
Yeah.
He was accused. He was also accused of even using the bandits to force the communities to vote for him. Using
And it
bandits.
was actually all these actually in the media.
While he was
space.
governor, people were paying ransom to go to their farms. The bandits moved about in Zamfara like kings, unchallenged. There were even the issue of the, I think was this his principal secretary, if I'm not mistaken, whose relation was kidnapped. And it was later realized that the ransom that was paid from his office or something like that, something around that. But his office was indicted. The ransom was eventually paid to somebody in his office. Yes, I think something like that. I can't remember clearly now, but his office was in. Even though he came out to deny it and say they were politically motivated and all that, as people always say, but that dark spot in his political career still remains, even now as Minister of State.
But is that not even the allegations? Are they not even enough to put his appointment on hold?
Yeah, you see, two things
As
are
a Minister
here.
of Defense.
2 things are here. One, somebody who served as a governor. During his tenure, he was accused of fraternizing with bandits. Two, somebody who served as a governor. During his tenure, banditry was elevated to the highest level. Based on these two reasons, I don't see why he should be made a minister in the first place, not to talk of Minister of Defense.
Defense, exactly.
Not to talk of Minister of Defense. There was a time he was accused of even financial inducements and support, even providing logistics. And if those allegations were true, then this local government chairman's claim can equally be said to be true. And then I also don't see how he will be able to deploy troops or equipment after those people, because you don't kill your own. If some people are saying that he's benefiting from the banditry, and you know Zamfara is rich in solid minerals.
True.
And most of the key players in that state are involved in the exploration and exploitation and trafficking, if I may use that word, of those minerals, because they are being done illegally. So why these people are there is because of those things.
And because
With their foreign expatriates who are collaborators. So it
because
is difficult.
because the government is
difficult.
not the government is not even taking the bull by the horn. That's why we keep hearing all these kind of narratives. We expect the government to come out, be sincere with Nigerians, tell us the truth. Let's know which is which. No wonder Sahara Reporters reported that about 104 Nigerian army personnel have been declared missing weeks after Boko Haram's deadly attack on Borno base. Now, these are allegations. If our government has been, straight and transparent with Nigerians, if they come out to say, oh no, it is not true, Nigerians will know who to believe. But right now, look at all that you've outlined. Look at what that man said. Look at the happenings in the country. Who do we believe? What exactly do we? In fact, the problems in Nigeria is actually so overwhelming. You don't even know where to start.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so overwhelming.
I have a younger cousin, a young cousin or other, that I facilitated his entering the military less than 5 years ago. A young boy was posted to Borno. After like 2-3 years, he voluntarily resigned. I want to ask him, he said, Uncle, I can't continue unless I want him to die. I won't want to narrate what he told me here. So a lot of them, they also, I believe, if they have their way, we want to go. So when you're talking about they are missing, I won't support or deny what Sahara reporter said because I'm not privy to the information they have. It could be true, it could be false, but like you said, the military need to come out to affirm or deny it.
They need to
but
tell
then
us
in
the
this
truth.
country
Yeah.
also, we have had cases where things happened that were true and
we
were
were told-
denied by
yeah.
the authorities, and eventually it was proved to be true. The issue of the Christians that were kidnapped was in Kaduna, the one in Niger and other states. So
Countless.
somebody can even call you now and say, "Oh, you stole that camera." All you need to do is to issue a statement and say, "I didn't." Or you get some of your boys, pay them, and they will issue, "I promise she's innocent. In fact, she was never even near that place. Even when that camera was stolen, she was even out of the country." Meanwhile, Promise knew about the disappearance of the camera. So, like I say, there are more than meets the eye.
There's actually no transparency.
So,
there's no
issuing
transparency.
a statement is not enough. But being truthful about the statement is what matters.
There's actually no transparency.
Even when the that brigadier was killed in Katsina, you get, there were initially, not even Katsina, even the one in Borno, the one that was killed in Borno, the general, there was a denial.
Yeah.
Before they accepted. The one that was killed in Katsina, we saw what happened. They say
he died of diabetes and
diabetes
high
and reptile. Yeah. But the family came out and said no.
He didn't have any of those conditions. It's actually not nice.
So,
do we realize that there's a day of reckoning?
So it's not issue of telling the military to deny or issue a statement. The issue of being truthful, being honest.
It's actually
it's a problem in this country.
It's a very big problem.
Even somebody who caught red-handed,
we deny
stealing,
and tell you.
You take him to court, guilty or not guilty, I'm not guilty.
He will tell you what you saw was not it. Well then, I know we have to move on. Sadly, I don't know why I think I need to have a serious talk with my producer and my HOD with regards to this. I don't know why he keeps putting me to talk about sad things. Then we've talked about dead people, and now we're going to talk about floods ravaging some towns in Nigeria. I don't like such sad news. I'm going to really have a serious talk with him. But then, viewers, let's take a look at this video. When we come back, we'll talk more on the floor.
Salute that lawyer Maya. Then you Dubai, Taiwan. Obey me as Zolona, double lane. Hey, what's the tango query I do now?
Only email of me, I want to mention it. Salute Taiwan. All right,
Dubai, Taiwan, and Waki Sofia. Hey, you can't go.
All right,
to the same shop and no matter. Royal Madame.
I want to finish the vote before school name. I have a chance to go. All right, to go on good. And I can speak.
I pray for you. I na-eme life na ama ọkpala. Ọ bụ shoot bird. Ya na-eme life na ama ọkpala. Ya Dubai, Taiwan anyị. Ọkwa ị na-afọ awa Dubai, Taiwan. Soludo si na onye nye anyị Dubai, Taiwan na Dubai, Taiwan. Ya agaghị pụọ n'ụzọ. Na Dubai, Taiwan ka anyị nọ. Na ebe ndị mmadụ ọkwa ịfụ ka mmiri si obe mmadụ. Na Dubai, Taiwan. Solution is working. Soludo is at work. Na Soludo na-alụ ọrụ. Soludo na-alụ ọrụ. Ya Dubai, Taiwan o kwere anyị na nkwa. Ajụ na na-ekwu amụwa wee ego mmiri na-awa na-ekwu am capitally verify were onu wee malụ m nara n'eze amalụchawo m. Soludo is working. Na ebe ọ na-eme ekwefụlụ ya. Ya ụzọ bara Winter Gold Hotel. Ihe ebe ị na-ahụ shọpụ mmadụ, ihe a na-ashọpụ mmadụ. Na mgbede a ka ihe a na-eme tata bụ Sunday. Tata bụ Sunday 28 June 2026 ka ọ na-eme. Ọ na-enu fensi ka nkwụ wee na-akapcha. Ya sụkwa, ị na-akwa echeki mmiri akwa fensi a. Na ihe mụ na gị eme. Mmiri akwa fensi a kwụrụ ya na. wefere ya Dubai Taiwan na mgbede a ka ihe a na-eme Dubai Taiwan ka anyị nọ na. Soludo is working. Soludo is working. Solution is here. Solution is here. Solution is here. Yes. This is our Dubai Taiwan. Want me to come down? They have to come there in case you enter there and you don't fit come out.
Mommy, come this way. Driver, do your magic. Well done. I don't see it there.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. Let me get your thoughts, Dr. Onwachuku, on videos we just watched. Of course, there are more than that. We have floods all over Lagos and other states. These were the ones we were able to lay our hands on. For those morning program. Let me just get your thoughts briefly with regards to flooding and how the states and the federal government can do something about this, because it's a recurring problem every year. People die as a result of this flood. Does it mean there's nothing that can be done?
Thank you very much. The issue of flooding in Nigeria today is not new. It happens every year around this time, and it will continue till almost September, October, depending. Sometimes there are something like flooding. We know is partly man-made and also nature. What do I say about man-made? And when we look at that man-made, we look at it maybe from 2 or 3 perspectives, particularly from human beings. Some of us deliberately cause this thing happening. There are drainages. You block them. Some empty refuses in gutters and walkways. So when rain falls, the flood will not find a way to move because it's blocked. So it spills itself on the road. So that one, we are the one causing it. But then there are other aspects. the communities are not doing anything. Some years ago, communities would always organize a communal walk where drainages, gutters, and others are emptied preparatory to a rainy season. You know, I'm not sure many of them are doing it today. And if any road passes through your community or your area, I think it behoves on you to ensure that those things are well taken care of. But most times, our attitude is, oh, it's government thing. But when the damage is done, when the harm occurs, it affects individuals, not the government. Because government is not any human being. We are all part of government. The other aspect is the federal government or state government maybe not taking care of the roads. We know that we have a very poor road maintenance culture in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said earlier, I said, what is the issue of commissioning or celebrating? Most times we do form fairs to commission roads, but then maintaining them becomes a problem. And you see some of them, after some time, they start developing craters and all that. So when there are no maintenance, in some other countries, as you are signing a road construction contract, you also attach maintenance to it. So it's not just do the road and go. There is a maintenance aspect that goes with it. But here we want to have another budget. We want to have another costing for maintenance.
The same road.
And sometimes the person you're even going to ask to maintain it may not be the person who built the road. So it becomes a problem. It's just like where you call somebody to maintain your house and he wasn't part of the people that built that house. You may not even know certain things and how they did it. So that's that aspect. So, but then on the other side is like I said, it is not new. There are communities that are prone to flooding every year. Kogi, Anambra, Imo, Lagos, many of them. And some of them have been asked to relocate. Some, even before the flooding, will be asked to relocate, but they refuse.
Relocate to where?
Right.
Isn't a way they have somewhere else to relocate?
What if you are consumed by that flood?
So why wouldn't why wouldn't the state government make arrangements for these people and say relocate to this place?
There are some that are living areas that are prone or close to the river. For example, Lokoja.
No doubt about it.
So what will the government do?
The government can
because
still do
basically that river Niger or river Benue, we know at a particular time of the year overflows.
Yes.
There is also the one of the Kainji Dam. Sometimes when it's threatening the people of the Chadian government will empty it. And when they empty it, it does havoc here.
Yeah.
So these are things that are predictable. And like I said, there are areas in this country, communities in this country, all their life have never witnessed flooding. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
They have never.
Agree.
And there are those that every year
they
know it
witness
will happen.
it. Yes.
So fine. So what you need is to be proactive. So if, for example, you know a community like that or a shop, why not? You can relocate within that period. And then when the decision is come back. So it is not that it is not known. We know. And the people that are affected also know.
It's really,
except the ones that are deliberately done, like one was blocking the drainage, and then or constructing. Some even construct on drainage lines,
waterways, yes,
and then waterways. So the effect will surely be felt. So it is, in summary, what I'm trying to say is that it must be a collaborative effort. It's not just the government.
Agreed.
The government, the communities, the state governments, and most times we talk of federal government. State government, what are they doing? Even when you talk about roads, there are roads that are to be taken care of by the local government. There are roads that, by the constitution, are to be taken care of by the states, and there are roads that are to be taken care of by the federal government. A rural road in your community, you don't expect Tinubu to come there to do it.
To fix it, yeah.
So communities can take care of such places. Local governments can take care of such places. Today, states and local governments are getting millions and billions of naira every month through FAC. What are they doing with it? So it's not just federal government. We all, in your own compound, somebody will build a house and you will not take care of drainage. Even the one in front of your house, you block it. Or you put shop there. Some of us will pass through roads and you know that road is bad. You cannot even get a little sand to fill that pothole. You expect government to come and do it for you. So everybody has a role to play if we really would want to avoid something like this going forward.
Thank you very much, Dr. Obina. And viewers, as we know, beyond staying informed about the events around us, it is equally very important to nourish our spiritual lives. It is now time for our message for the day, a moment to reflect on God's word and draw lessons that can strengthen our faith and guide our daily walk with Him. Now, yesterday we actually reflected on developing an attitude of praise and thanksgiving in all situations, and how a heart of gratitude can, unlock God's blessings even in difficult times. Today, viewers, we have another inspiring Bible exposition prepared for you. Let's watch the clip together, and afterwards, we'll briefly reflect on the key lessons it holds for us.
The message of God, situations that the enemy thinks he has sealed over men's life or women's life. He thinks he has sealed them, that there will be no more solution. That is the kind of situation that Amalek kept David and his people in. They were wondering, how can we begin to hunt and search for a people that were taken into the wilderness? And they had traveled for days. But the word of the Lord came and gave direction. It was that counsel that led David. And it was so clear that his experience became strong. His faith was strengthened. And so the moment the perspective was shifted, the Lord began to strengthen his faith and renewed the purpose. David had failed in the place of leadership by crying and becoming frustrated. God strengthened him. The moment he shifted his perspective and turned back to the Lord renewed his position as the leader of the people. Everyone looked upon him. Everyone looked upon him and required that he take responsibility and get them out of the trouble. You can imagine that he lost his own 2 wives and his children, and he was crying with the people, but the people took up stones to stone him as if he was not part of the problem. That if many will recover from their losses, it is when you arise and seek God. It is like your discovery of God is what will help them discover their losses. It is of essence. If we go the wrong direction, they will be traveling farther. So David knew that there was no way out. And the only way out was to inquire of the Lord. And I saw that men can be in such situation where you look round and all around you and you can't find any source of solution. Even the very friends or companions that you may look upon as sources of encouragement and help may have come to a point where you can tell clearly that help may not come from them. If you're in such situation, this meeting was actually organized for your sake, because the Lord is still saying, in spite of this predicament, you can still recover all. You believe it? Can you shout aloud, amen? So the challenge was obvious. The situation was clear. The hope was not looking close. And it was the word of the Lord that came. It was not David's confession. It was not David's confession. It was the Lord who said to him, you will recover all. There is a voice that stills every confusion. Regardless of all the contribution and the beautiful suggestions and opinion that the voices of men can make, there is one voice that when he speaks concerning a situation, then hope is established. The reason why we are strengthened as God's children is that we are not waiting for God to speak. He has spoken already. Turn to your friend, tell him, I am not waiting for him to speak. He has spoken already. And the Bible said, whose report shall we believe? It can take just a moment and heaven will confirm the word. The voice of heaven, the direction of heaven is enough to bring about a recovery. The delay has been strong, and it looks like a prison. I hear the Lord speaking to such lives, and He said, I should announce to you, the delay is not a prison, it's a classroom. There are men God will speak to for the sake of the deliverance and the safety of many. There are men that God will rest upon, and an entire people who sit in darkness will see a great light. There is one that God will lift up in a family, and every disgrace and embarrassment that Satan has set upon them all through the generation will be ended by that one. Lift up your hands. I declare over your life this year, under the influence of my voice, your journey will not lack the voice of heaven. Your journey will not lack the voice of direction. Your journey will not lack the voice of the authority of heaven.
And I say a very big amen. Our journeys will not lack the voice of heaven. That is very powerful. Please make sure you don't miss out on the message for the day, for every time we come on this live program. Dr. Wachko, I don't know, do you have anything to add to our viewers? And if you don't, let's go to our next segment.
No. I join you to say amen.
Amen.
Because whatever we are today is because of God. He's author and finisher of our lives.
True.
So we live because of him.
Very true. All right, thank you. And now, viewers, let's find out what today's weather has in store for us before we head out, for those who are still at home and for those who are out, so that you know how best to plan the remaining part of your day. Stay with us.
Welcome to your comprehensive global weather forecast for Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. Let's look at the conditions shaping our world today. Starting in Africa, the northern regions continue to bake under the summer sun. Dry and hot conditions prevail with temperatures reaching seasonal highs. Further south, West and Central Africa are witnessing widespread thunderstorms and significant rainfall, raising potential flood concerns. East Africa sees occasional showers, while Southern Africa experiences a cooler, stable winter pattern with clear skies dominating the interior. In Europe, the Mediterranean is enjoying warm, clear conditions, perfect for the start of the summer season in Italy, Greece, and Spain. However, Northern Europe sees cloud cover and intermittent rain across the UK, Scandinavia, and northern Germany. Turning to Asia, the monsoon is in full swing. South Asia is seeing heavy downpours characteristic of this time of year. Southeast Asia remains unsettled with humid storms, while East Asia sees a mix of coastal fog and inland sunshine. In North America, heat persists across the southern states, while the heartland braces for scattered evening thunderstorms. South America's tropical regions continue to receive daily rainfall, while the southern cone feels the chill of winter. Coming home to Nigeria, southern regions see peak rainfall. From Lagos to Port Harcourt, expect heavy showers throughout the day. The central states, including the FCT, are witnessing localized thunderstorms. Residents should be prepared for sudden afternoon downpours. Up north, the weather is significantly warmer and drier, with most states remaining partly cloudy and hazy. That concludes our global weather update for this Tuesday. We hope this helps you plan your day effectively across the globe. Thank you for joining us. Have a safe week ahead, and we'll see you tomorrow for more weather insights. Goodbye.
Bible reading for today now from Psalm chapter 10. I will go read from verse 1 to the end. This is the letter where King David write to Baba God when he dey lament, say Baba God don't leave am. Verse 1. My God, wetin make you stand far from me? Wetin make you dey hide when I dey trouble? Wicked people dey pursue and punish poor people. So make the evil trap where them set for other people catch them. Because then they make mad about the evil things where them they do. Yes, they praise people when get long throat and they curse God. Wicked people too stubborn and they always think say God not go do me anything because he not care. They prosper for everything where them they do. They not they see your punishment when they wait them. Then they laugh those when be their enemies. Then they tell themselves, say, no bad thing will ever happen to us. We go there free from trouble forever. Now curse, lie, and to threaten people, full their mouth. Now trouble and evil dey their tongue. Then they hide, wait for the village gate, where nobody go fit see them come kill innocent people. And then they always find and wound people when no get help Like lion when hide for corner, now so them they wait to kill innocent people. They catch and drag innocent people for their net like hunter when catch animal. They keep people when no get person when go help them. Those when no get power reach them. Wicked people they say, God not they see us. You don't close the eye and you not go even fit see wetin we dey do. So my God, make you raise up, come punish wicked people. Make you not leave those when no get who go help them. Why wicked people they go free self? Even when they no respect God, them they say God not go ever ask us say wetin we do. But you dey see the trouble and wahala where them they cause. You dey see everything. So make you punish them. Those when no get help, they trust you. And now you they fight for children when no get papa and mama. Make you break wicked and evil people hand. Make you punish them for their wicked plans where them think say you don't know about. Now God be king forever and ever. The people when know they fear God go vanish, come off from this world. Baba God, now you be the hope where poor people get. True, true, you go hear their cry, go comfort them. You go judge well for children when no get papa and mama, and those where them they oppress, so that wicked people not go ever threaten them again. These are the letter of lamentation when David write give Baba God.
Love that lamentation. Truly, Baba God, now you be the only hope with poor people like us get. Dr. Obina, you were smiling all through. You have a comment just in 30 seconds?
Up to now, we are still lamenting.
We're still lamenting.
And all the things we'll be discussing here are lamentations.
We pray God listens and come to our
You are
rescue.
saved today, don't know where you are next tomorrow.
Very
So
true. Very
God will
true.
continue to be our help, a very present help in times of trouble. It's only Him we know, and it's only Him that sustains and keeps us. Without Him, I don't know what else any of us would have done.
Very true. Very true. Viewers, as we bring today's program to a close, we sincerely appreciate you for spending part of your morning with us. And many thanks also, to our guest for his valuable insights and thoughtful contributions to today's discussion. Thank you very much, Dr. Sir Obina Nwachukwu. You, in fact, it was a very robust conversation we had this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. And viewers, remember, staying informed is important, but taking positive action in our communities, just like Dr. Obina pointed out, those drainages, stop blocking them. Go and remove those things there. Taking important action in our communities in our little space is even more important. So let us continue to pray for our nation, Nigeria. We don't have another one. Let us support one another and play our parts in building a safer, a more peaceful, and a prosperous Nigeria. So on behalf of the entire production team, I am Promise Njoku Adibi. Thank you for watching and have a productive, a peaceful, and a blessed day ahead. God bless you and goodbye.